What's up, weirdos? What's going on, guys? Good morning. Good morning. Got some stuff to cover today, guys. Some stuff to cover today. Good little DCA opportunity today. I did some buying. Bought a whole handful of altcoins. I put my buy alerts over on the Patreon, so make sure you guys check it out if you're over there. Check out my buy alerts from this morning. What do we got here? What do we got? Amazing coins for you. Uh, where you at, you boy? How you feeling, Rob? I'm feeling okay. My This has turned into an infection. I got to get on antibiotics, but I can't get in to see the doctor till Friday. So he's going to give me some antibiotics for my chest and my throat though before it turns into like bronchitis or something. I had that before. Oh, it was a nightmare, man. It was a nightmare. Your boy, I'm here. He says I might not be first coins, but I'm the first super chat. What's up, weirdo family? There you go. There you go. Let's see what's going on here. We're gonna dive into the chat, guys. But first, big thanks to the channel sponsor, Decent Self Custody Wallet, guys. Check this out. You can now connect to CoinGecko right on your Decent wallet, guys. No copy and paste, no typing addresses. Direct link from CoinGecko to your self custody wallet. No extra steps. Get yourselves, look at it showing you right here. Get yourselves a self custody wallet today, guys. I'll share it over on my X so that you can check it out for yourself. You can watch the video. Not your keys, not your coins, guys. Get yourself a self-custody wallet. Use my deal. Use my link and get a phenomenal deal. Danny, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I'm trying to survive on Halls, so if you hear me kind of smacking my lips a little bit, I'm sucking on a Halls. It prevents me from hacking and coughing while I'm talking to you guys. So, J Money in the house. What's up? Bulbasaur. There we go. We got our first Pokemon of the day. Myrdad, what's up, buddy? Getting the live notification means get my ass to the garage and start doing cardio. There you go, man. Cardio is hardio. My Peloton, I call it my Peloton. I bought it for my wife. It shows up tomorrow. They deliver it tomorrow, but I'll probably be on it more than she will. But yeah, that's where my cardio is going to start too. I'm slowly trying to piece together a home gym little by little. Cody, what's up, buddy? Just ordered my Decent last night and gonna give it a try. Thanks for the discount, bro. Hey, absolutely, brother. No problem, man. Thanks for using our discount, brother. I appreciate you. Lawrence bought the dip this morning. Nice. Get greedy when others are fearful. 100%. 100%. I don't think there's much fear in the market right now, though, guys, to be honest with you. I don't think there's much fear. There's probably some, but I mean, Bitcoin's holding strong. If we go over, let's refresh the liquidation levels and have a look. So over on Binance, I mean, there's only about 645 million in shorts, up to $96,800, right? So there's some shorts going on, but not a whole bunch, in my opinion. Not like a whole bunch. And there's not many longs. There's only 387 million in longs at 91.8. So I don't know how active the liquidity hunters are going to be in the market, but I mean, we could see a tiny bit of. We probably saw some of these longs get liquidated, but I would say if the market manipulators, if the liquidity hunters are going to go after anything, they're probably going to go after the shorts, right? Because there's just so much more of them, right? So this could be a bear trap, you guys. This could be a bear trap to convince people to put in shorts and then liquidate them, right? That's what this could be. So if you're messing with leverage right now, I would not suggest it. Strawberry Dragon, great day to load up. Hell yeah, there she is, Gamma Goddess. Sorry I wasn't here yesterday. I've been super tired. My toddler and her late night partying. Yes, I get it, Gamma. I get it. Trust me. I know what it's like. The struggle is real. We missed you. I'm feeling a little bit better every single day. I mean, it's taking a turn, so I need antibiotics now. But I am Jasmine. We're all Jasmine. Remember, everyone, Rob loves you. Absolutely. Joy, what's going on? Hey, Rob and Patreon family, hope everyone is having a great day. Let's scoop up these dips. Hit the likes for great content. Absolutely. JLP, the markets are crashing on the economic news. How low are we thinking things may go? I just moved a lot of dry powder into KuCoin just in case. I wouldn't say the word crashing. I don't think I would use that phrase for what's going on in the markets right now. It's a little too dramatic. I mean, if we have a look here at Bitcoin, we got a little bit of a spinning top candle going on right now. This is a neutral candle. It's not even a bearish candle, even though it's red. It's a spinning top candle. So we're pretty neutral when it comes to Bitcoin right now. In fact, I would argue we're bullish because look at this. Every time we drop below 93,400, every single time we wick right back up immediately, right? There's so much buying pressure down here. But can we break above the sell wall up here? Because as you can see, every time we break above 35K, we wick back down as well. So which one is going to give first, the buy wall or the sell wall? Well, right now we're looking neutral. Bitcoin's showing a lot of strength in my opinion. So that's a good thing for me. But what we can do as well, let's go look at some of the other asset classes, shall we? Let's go look at, boom. So here we go with the M2 money supply. Bitcoin's still on course, still following it perfectly. As you can see, there's little tiny dips, little tiny corrections on the way up, just like Bitcoin, little tiny correction, no big deal, right? So, and I've been telling people, I think we're going to go parabolic for the next 5 months or so. But guys, that doesn't mean there's not going to be 20, 25% pullbacks along the way. There'll probably be 3 or 4 of them, right? So don't think it's just straight up and to the right. It doesn't work that way, right? There will be minor dips, minor corrections as we go. But let's go have a look at the SPX. Let's see how bad it got. See, I wouldn't say markets crashed. That's too strong of a word. Look at the S&P. That's not a crash. Everything, we had a bit of a dip this morning, but everything kind of got bought right back up again, right? So the S&P 500 recovered pretty well. We're still putting in this trend line here, right? We didn't even come down and touch this upward trend line. So we're looking pretty good on the SPX. What about, what's gold and silver doing? Okay. Gold's holding strong. What about those maples, baby? Silver had a dip, but it got bought right back up as well. So that's not bad. What about the Dixie? Dixie continues to work its way down. That's good. Love to see that. Where's my chart, though? I have a chart. Oh, here it is. Here's my chart. So we're down below this level. We got to get into this range here for altcoin season, guys, for the Dixie, right? Got to get down inside this box here. That's what she said. What about the Bitcoin dominance? Still climbing. Well, I wouldn't say climbing, but it's kind of, it was up a little bit, kind of corrected. 64.56. I mean, this could go all the way up to 70, 72, guys, right? It could. A lot of people argue that it won't because there's so many more altcoins now, but I could see it happening still. So, but I wouldn't say markets crashed. I definitely would not say that. Markets definitely did not crash. A little bit of a correction, no big deal. And it got bought right back up again. So I think the low's already in. Yes, I agree. BTC tested and bounced perfectly up to 618 fib this morning. Yes, 100% it did. 100% wicked right back up. Guys, hit the like and subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel grow. It doesn't cost you anything at all, guys. It helps me out. So do me that favor. Helps with the algorithm as well. Help a brother out. It's the HBO special, right? Your boy. What's going on, buddy? My guy, my dude. A guy. Hey, Rob. And good afternoon, crypto fan. Paul, what's up, my guy? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. The Lion's Den. Hey, Rob, hope you're feeling better. You should check out moving to North Carolina. It's booming here. You can check out Raleigh, North Carolina. Is that how you say it? And Charlotte area. They both have winter too. You know what? I've always wondered about North Carolina. To be honest with you, I have always wondered about it. Sounds just. I like the name Carolina. Carolina. Pretty sure there's a song. Lawrence, yes, come visit us here in North Carolina. There you go. 2 votes for North Carolina. Good afternoon, Rob. I know you talked about the M2 and BTC, but what's your thoughts on the M2 versus silver? Off topic, but it looks. I was looking at it. It depends on what time frame you're talking about. Are you talking about the 108 day? Are you talking about the 80 day against silver? I need more context. The rednecks love you. Yes, we do. Nice. There you go. Absolutely. Mario, good afternoon, Rob. The crypto father. Hope your health is doing better. Yes. I got you booked in for a one-on-one tonight, buddy. Quentin, hey, Rob, and crypto fam. My guy, my dude, Quentin in the house. Tyler, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Easy. Yo. Good to see you too, man. God bless. God bless you too. God bless you too. Over the top. Not sure if my XRP went through this morning for the one-on-one. Yes, I'm pretty sure it did, but I will. Did you DM me and let me know that it went through? I will. I have 32 DMs I got to go through this morning, so I will get to it. Batlander, what's up, buddy? My portfolio is still up bigly due to joining the Patreon and going into these gems very early. Join the Patreon. Do it. Do it now. Absolutely, man. That's the thing. You know, people they make the mistake of buying these gems when after they've already pumped, when they could just join the Patreon, and for like the price of like a Happy Meal, you could be on the Patreon and make thousands of dollars on these coins that we're getting into early. It's a no-brainer, right? It costs you the price of a Happy Meal to make thousands and thousands of dollars. But some people want to keep that money for a Happy Meal, and they want to try to get it for free, I suppose. I don't know. But those people will miss out. Michael, good day to buy. Absolutely, man. Andy, hey, Rob. What do you make of the breaking news? You talk about Ripple said Ripple is said to have offered $4 billion to $5 billion for Circle. They're trying to buy Circle. Is that true? I haven't seen anything about that, man. Hey, Rob, would you say it would be? No, I wouldn't say that this time. No. Let me check the news here. Hang on. Let me check the news about that. See if there's any news about Ripple offering to buy Circle. I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. I'm not seeing anything yet. No news about Ripple offering to buy Circle. XRP poised for 500%. Blah blah blah. No, I'm not seeing nothing, man. I don't know how true that news is, as I'm not seeing any articles about it at all. XRP Stellar, which is the best Swift replacement. No, I don't see nothing. Hmm. I'll have to dive deeper into it, but I don't see anything about Circle being having an offer to be bought by Ripple. Huh. Interesting. How you doing? Glad to hear you're doing better. Thanks for all you do. Hey, no problem, man. No problem. Carlos, what's up, man? Hey, Rob. Rob, how are you, brother? When are you planning to post a new exit plan on the Patreon? I already made that clear, brother. I said once all of my projects turn green, I will be making a new exit price points for everything. But until I'm done DCAing into all of my projects, I'm DCAing. Half my projects are green, half of them are red right now. So I'm still DCAing into the red ones right now. Once everything's green and I'm done DCAing, then I will put out a new exit price point, a new exit plan over there. Well, I guess we officially enter the technical recession. Rate cuts should be coming sooner than expected. I'm seeing a lot of people saying, "Oh, rate cuts in May." There's a 90% chance of no rate cut. June probably. Maybe we get no rate cut in May, but a 50 basis point cut in June. Maybe something like that instead of 25, right? That would almost count as 2, right? Hey, Rob, no one else could get me up at 4 a.m. in the morning. Love what you do, man. Hey, Paul, thank you so much, man. Thanks for hanging out with me, brother. I appreciate you getting up at 4 in the morning just for little old me, man. By the dip. Dennis, what's going on, man? William's in the house. Strange Sky says like and sub. Steve, what's up, buddy? Is EBIC at a good entry point or has that passed? No, it's still a good entry point. It's still a good entry point. Just DCA, that's all. All right, I'm gonna skip ahead and get into the news, guys. I'll get back to the chat in a little bit, but we got to start covering some of the news. Let's give my voice a little bit of a rest. So what do we got? House Majority Leader Rep Scalise says Mr. T is here to get deals for American people.
Are out highlighting President Trump's accomplishments in his first 100 days in office ahead of their reconciliation bill, which they hope to have enacted by July 4th. Joining us now, House Majority Leader Steve Scalise. And you do care about the midterms, I think. We have made the point, Leader, that maybe President Trump is willing to eat a lot of vegetables if the dessert is going to be coming. But the reality is a lot of your members do have elections in 2 years. Are you on board with everything, or would closing the border and DOGE and deregulation and drill baby drill, would that have been enough for you, or you think we needed to do the rebalancing of trade around the globe?
Well, I'm on board with it. And in fact, President Trump talked about all of these items. Clearly, he talked about the border a lot. He talked about inflation. He talked about gas prices. He talked about getting our economy moving again. But he talked about getting fair trade with our friends and enemies around the world. And this was something he's talked about. Really, you go back to 2016. It's something he's felt strongly about for a long time. So everybody, I think, knew this was going to be something the president would confront. And look, when we get out of this and we have new agreements, you've heard Scott Bessent, over 75 countries want to renegotiate. There are a lot of countries that are in the process of negotiating a better trade deal right now. If we end up with no trade tariffs for either side, look, countries were hitting us with tariffs left and right, and we weren't hitting them with anything. Right now, their tariffs are still higher, but if they drop their tariffs and we drop ours, I think we're going to end up with a better economy.
But are you hearing any rumblings or things that we don't know about? Maybe some near-term announcements that certainly would be welcomed by the financial markets and I think Republicans in general, everybody in general.
And we know that there are countries that are talking to the White House about a new deal. Are they close to announcing a new deal with some of these countries? And I think it's only going to be a few. You get Japan, you get India, you get one or two more. Everybody's going to know, okay, that's the template for every other country. It's not like you're just going to get one-off deals and everybody else is going to be waiting for their own separate deal. I think, the way it goes with the first few countries is going to be the type of deal you're going to be seeing with other countries too. China is going to be a unique situation because of how they treat intellectual property, how they don't play by their own rules, they manipulate currency. But when you see, hopefully, a new set of trade deals coming where you drop tariffs on both sides, that's what I think a lot of us would like to see. Then you'll get a lot more stability. The other part of that, and that's something that we're in the middle of right now, and that is this budget reconciliation bill. If we lock in tax rates, meaning no tax increases, and you not only renew current tax rates for 10 years, but permanently, if we get a permanent American tax code where rates aren't going to be subject to going up depending on who's in Congress, I think that'll bring even more stability to the economy and trillions of new investment that is just sitting on the sidelines right now.
We heard maybe the top rate goes back up to 39 at 6 or whatever it was, 40%. We heard it bandied about. We heard President Trump say, no, it's not going to happen. We had Congressman Smith on yesterday. He wouldn't take it off the table, again, as a pay for maybe for some of the other priorities the president have with tips and Social Security taxes. Can you take it off the table that will the 2017 bill, will that be extended in total?
That's what I'm pushing for. I don't want to see anybody's tax rates go up. We're looking at a reduction for people that make tips. Obviously, no tax on tips has been a hallmark of what President Trump talked about during the campaign. And Jason Smith and his committee is working to follow through on that. But let's start with a baseline that nobody's tax rates go up, meaning we keep all current rates the same.
You're not saying
then
never
you can go look at additional pro-growth items.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. You're not saying no way, no how on that. It's possible.
Well, I'm saying nobody's tax rate should go up. Nobody's tax rate should go up.
Should, will, or should?
Well, look, I mean, every committee's working through this process right now, but I think if you look at what we know is going to work to create economic growth, to bring more investment into the country, it's lower tax rates, not higher tax rates.
But it'll be scored on this by the CBO as a big budget buster if you extend those tax cuts without any pay-fors.
Well, and we're working on a lot of pay-fors, and in fact, the economic growth just from renewing current rates, the growth you'll get in the economy. I've heard numbers from private sector groups saying there's $3-4 trillion sitting on the sidelines waiting for us to act. And I know CBO doesn't recognize a lot of that kind of growth, but that's real growth. That's real economic activity and real wage increases for hardworking families. They will surely see it. When you go to the grocery store, you will see lower food costs. That matters to families. That's who we're focused on.
Leader Scalise, let's focus on two things, the growth and the prices that you just mentioned. We just got the numbers from ADP showing less job creation than we had anticipated for the month. We're going to be getting GDP for the first quarter coming out. The Wall Street Journal this morning has an article suggesting that prices are going to go up in the next 5 to 7 weeks, potentially, for a lot of things that consumers will be buying, not just at grocery stores, but at department stores, at some of the big box retailers as well. If that happens, I mean, we can talk about growth taking care of some of these things, but if things go in the opposite direction, if growth comes down, if employment comes down, if prices go up, what do we do at that point? And where do you think we stand right now in the economy?
A lot of those things are predicated on the uncertainty with tariffs. We all know that. President Trump talked about that at the State of the Union. But people like me do not think that this is going to be sustaining itself for months from now. I think
tariffs,
if you fast forward 2 months from now, tariffs and tax rates, if you fast forward 2 months from now and we have a stabilized tax code and we have agreements with other countries, maybe not all 75, but let's say you get agreements with 8 countries, 4 countries that are major trading partners with America that drop their tariffs down. That will tell you where a lot of the off-ramps are going to go with other countries too. And I think you'll see the markets react to that. Will it happen? I think it will, because I know how President Trump negotiates deals. He's got a proven track record, and I think we've got to give him the benefit of the doubt based on his history and how he knows how to make deals. He's here to get deals for the American workers and the American people.
Leader Scalise, I wanted to ask you about just how you think retailers around the country should deal with transparency around pricing. You've been a big advocate over the years for pricing transparency, specifically in the healthcare arena, around drug pricing, and in a number of other instances you've called for transparency around pricing. How would you feel if a retailer were to describe pricing around tariffs to suggest, for example, that prices had gone up by 20% or 30% as a function of tariffs?
Well, when I talk about transparency, and I've been very clear about this, as you mentioned, in healthcare, it's the only form of pricing that you cannot find out what something costs. You know, American consumers are the best shoppers in the world, and yet if you tried to find out what a gallbladder operation or what a heart surgery might
one of those,
cost, any other procedure, you can't find it out. You can call a hospital and they won't give you a price. You can call 5 hospitals. They won't give you any prices. That's got to change. We want to see price transparency there so you know what something costs. Now, if you attach political items to a cost, not, okay, here's the price of a good and then here's the sales tax to that item. You know, those are fixed costs. If you're going to start attaching other things to it that are based on political decisions, you know, that's a different situation. We've never had a tariff line item for anything. And by the way, again, tariffs have been hit against us in America for decades, for generations, and presidents have just let it happen, Republican and Democrat alike.
Leader,
President Trump's the first president to say, let's get treated fairly.
Most of the tariffed items that have been on the list, by the way, including under President Biden, it's worth noting, have been for things like EV batteries, semiconductors, solar, less oriented around things that are available for retail, meaning that the actual consumer at the end buys. So the comparison is a little different. And so my question is, if, for example, an item at Walmart goes up by double, should Walmart be able to tell its consumer that it's gone up by double as a function of the tariff, or do you consider that, as President Trump does, a hostile act?
No, they should be able to.
That seems more political, but think about this. When you go to the pump to buy gasoline, did you see them putting an item when Joe Biden shut off American energy and prices went up? Did you see them put an item going,
Here's the thing, guys. I agree with like companies like Amazon and so they got they're putting the extra fee, like what the difference is, what they're charging, and then they put on top of that, they separate and explain to people, this is how much it costs now because of the tariff. This is the difference, right? And Trump doesn't like that. He's getting angry that companies are doing that. They're saying this is the added cost because of the tariffs. That has nothing to do with being hostile towards the Mr. T or anything like that. You have to understand, these companies get accused, I've accused them of it myself, of increasing prices higher than they need to, right? So this is a way of being transparent. Say, look, we're not increasing these prices so that we make more money. We're increasing these prices to offset these tariff fees, right? That's what they're doing. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's, for me, that's transparency, because it protects them from being accused of increasing prices to gouge their customers, right? They have to protect their own reputations. So
paying $4 instead of $2 a gallon because of Joe Biden's anti-American energy
I did see delivery charges
go
into some. I did see delivery charges or whatever they call those charges when oil prices go up.
But if you talk about every over-regulatory issue.
By the way, I was at gas stations where the gas station had put up blame Biden. I actually saw that. I saw people do that. Blame Biden. Now, those are small gas stations.
Right.
I'm not saying that these are
Shell or Chevron or the gas companies doing that.
I guess the question, though, is
why the higher price was there.
But do you believe that that businesses should be allowed to communicate to their own customers about why prices are whatever they are, or do you believe that they should not be allowed to do that? And if so, do you consider that to be a form of is it a protected free speech or not?
Well, are they also going to put in when China steals our intellectual property and that jacks up the cost of items because we're paying for all of the IP and China's stealing
Leader,
it?
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. My question to you is slightly different, which is, do you believe that American businesses have the right and should be allowed to tell their customers whatever they want, and two, that transparency, if they want to talk about those other tariffs, maybe they should. But my question is, do you think that it's a hostile act to do so?
Well, businesses can communicate with their customers however they want. That's between a business and their customer. But then again, if it's why a lot of businesses don't delve into political issues, because some of their customers might not appreciate that. That's again going to be some choices they have to make.
Here's the thing for me, guys. You guys know me. I support Mr. T, okay? I support Mr. T. But here's the thing. You got to take the crookeds with the straights, man, right? That's the way you got to man up. These fees, like the increased costs of things is because of your tariffs that you did. You can't then turn around and not want to take accountability for it, right? You got to take the crookeds with the straights, man. You can't just take credit for things that are good and not take responsibility for things that are bad. And that kind of is what Mr. T's been doing all day today, right? He also blamed, I put out a video. It's coming out at about 3:30 today. Check it out. And it talks about Mr. T blaming Biden's administration for the current status of the stock market, right? Not okay, man. I'm a big supporter of his, but take responsibility for your actions, right? Like when he introduced the tariffs, he said to the companies, don't pass on the extra expenses to your customers. That's how tariffs work. What are you talking about, right? He knew that's how tariffs worked ahead of time. You can't introduce something like a tariff, but then say, I'm going to introduce this, but I don't want the consequences of introducing it. Doesn't work that way, right? You got to take the crookeds with the straights. You knew that introducing these tariffs were going to increase costs to the American people. Now we're starting to see that kick in, and he doesn't want to take responsibility for it, right? Doesn't work that way. I support him. I 100% believe that things will be better in the big picture because of what he's doing. But in the micro, take responsibility for your actions. Stop pointing fingers everywhere else, right? Jeffrey walked outside and decent wallet was just delivered. Truck driver looking forward to being able to swap on the go. Nice. There you go, brother. Congrats. XRP added. Yeah, I saw that XRP Ledger was added to MetaMask, right? Nice. We're paying for these tariffs. I support Amazon's idea. Yes, me too, GT. Me too. I want to know why I'm paying more. Yes, it's not political. I agree 100%, GT. 100%. I agree with you. We're on the same page, man. You and me both. We're both conservative. We both support them, but you got to take responsibility for what you're doing, man, right? I like how you altered the polls. Thank you. Funky, what's up, buddy? We had a gas station list, 50.50, 50 cents a gallon for gas, but must pay at register when you go in to out. They listed every tax owned on top of the 50, so you literally didn't pay less, but understood why. Yeah, and transparency is everything, right? Otherwise, like I said, guys, customers just think that the company is gouging their customers. Why should they take responsibility, right? I always talked about being in an echo chamber. Mr. T is in his own as we speak. Yeah, I agree with that. U.S. economy slams the brakes. What's next for Bitcoin? The U.S. economy, after 3 years, is beginning to contract again. Recent data suggests that the Federal Reserve's task ahead of becoming increasingly difficult. For cryptocurrency investors, this week promises to be particularly evident. eventful, my goodness, especially with the recent release of the U.S. Personal Consumption Expenditure, the PCE. Why is Bitcoin falling? Bitcoin's decline is attributed to recent U.S. economic data data pointing to underlying issues, and Mr. T's comments labeling it as Biden's market. U.S. stock markets had a grim opening as employment figures weakened and negative growth numbers were reported. Expectations for the core PCE were at 2.6%, similar to the previous month's figure at 2.8. The PCE data met expectations with an annual increase of 2.3%, while the core PCE aligned with predictions at 2.6. The data, which reflects a drop in inflation, indicates that following recent recession signals, the Fed may need to consider lowering interest rates. Consequently, Bitcoin surged by $500. Ooh. Yet, a caveat remains. Inflation is expected to rise again due to tariffs, irrespective of the low PCE readings. Thus, the Fed might declare it will not increase interest rates, potentially worsening recession signals. Alternatively, while interest rates may drop, inflation could escalate. Both scenarios make it challenging for the Federal Reserve, placing cryptocurrency in a precarious position. Very, very interesting. Thumbs and no glasses. Misspelling. House. I agree with the price stuff, but why does Mr. T have to be the one to take responsibility? No other president has ever had that happen to them. No other president has affected the economy and the markets in such a dramatic way, in such a fast at such a fast pace either, right? You can't compare apples to oranges, right? No other president has done what he's doing. So the thing is, Trump, while I support him, is a man of pride and ego, and he's aggressive. The smart thing to do would have been to handle these tariffs one country or two countries at a time, not balls to the wall like he did, right? He chose to do that. He was advised not to, and he chose to. So making that decision, you have to live with the consequences. If the markets crash because of the tariffs you introduced, that is your responsibility. It's not the previous administration's responsibility. They did not. Now listen, and this is coming from someone who could not stand the Democrats, could not stand Biden, okay? Couldn't stand him. I wish I could blame him, but I can't. I'm always honest with you guys, right? It's not his fault that Trump introduced tariffs and crashed the markets. Markets are starting to recover now, so I don't think it's really that big of a hot topic. The tariffs are all priced in. Markets are recovering nicely. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing on a string, right? But again, stop pointing fingers at other people. You are the president. You made these decisions. And the reason I say that, guys, is because it makes it harder for me to believe stuff that he says in the future if he can't take responsibility for the things he's doing now. If everything is everybody else's fault all the time, how can I trust anything you say? We all know someone like that in our own personal lives, and I'll bet you can't stand them, right? We all know somebody in our lives who blames every bad thing in their lives on everybody but themselves, right? That's what he's doing right now. Will hit the fan in the U.S. The summer's loss of products on the shelves and loss of jobs incoming. Yeah, well, that's the thing. The impact on the tariffs hasn't really taken place yet, right? So you're right there. Liz, hey, Rob. Yes, you are actually sounding a lot better. Also, I have a question. Do you think Jerome Powell is possibly doing that? No, I don't think Powell's doing it despite Trump. No. I just don't think Powell really knows what he's doing. I don't think that he's doing it despite Trump, though. No. According to Bloomberg, Ripple proposed a buyout of stablecoin issuers for Circle. The offer was rejected. Stories on CoinDesk. Nice. Maybe it just hasn't popped up in my newsfeed yet. I'll have to check it out. My mom's rent went from 425 to 900 since 2021. Her rent should say it's Biden's fault. Rob, I agree with what you're saying. These companies make billions and billions off our backs. Yes, absolutely. It was the same thing in Canada, but we did that in Canada, right? We blamed our leader here. I can't say his name because I'll get I'll get shadow banned for saying his name because I live in a dictatorship in Canada, and there's laws up here now that you can't talk about him in a negative way. So what I would say is our leader up here, the housing market's doubled since he took over, doubled. And but everybody knows, like it was firmly placed on his shoulders, absolutely. Liz, when you say 20 to 30% pullback, do you mean for the Bitcoin or for Bitcoin? Yes, for Bitcoin, which means alts could pull back further than that, right? Because if Bitcoin does that, wouldn't it mean alts drop over? No, Lizzie, not hundreds of percentages, no, right? If Bitcoin pulls back 25%, you'll probably see an average pullback of 35, 40% on altcoins or something like that, or maybe less, maybe just the same, right? But not hundreds. Not hundreds of percentages, no. But you are right. Most altcoins will correct deeper than Bitcoin when Bitcoin corrects. But that's why, Lizzie, I made a video the other day talking about how once I'm done DCAing into the market, I'll start to DCA into stable coins, so I have dry powder, so that when we see those dips, I can buy them, right? You think the potential Mr. T Truth Social coin will pull liquidity out of other coins? Like, I think there was less liquidity in the market back then, so probably not. Plus, I think that people will learn their lesson from what happened with his first coin and how it dropped so quick. I think it will pump, but I don't think it'll be any different than any other meme coin. Wendy, good morning. Just waking up to Australia. Happy Thursday. Wendy, I have to ask you something, or I have to make a comment here. I know you're in Australia, and I just watched a video. Now, I was always against going to Australia because everything wants to eat me there, right? But I just saw a video last night. Apparently, you guys have what is known as spider season. Are you freaking kidding me right now? Do you guys have a spider season where the ground literally looks like snow because there's so many spider webs everywhere? That sounds like something out of a Stephen King horror movie. That's terrifying. That math isn't even possible. You can't drop one. Yeah, well, I know, but some people are newer to crypto, though, right? So not everyone understands that. So that's why we want to make sure we educate people and help them understand, right? So, all right. So I got this little clip here from. This is a guy I follow over on YouTube, guys. Steven, I can't even say his last name, or Tyler. I mean, he's hilarious, and he's a bit of a Bitcoin maxi. I don't like that, but he's a hilarious guy. Check this out. He says, try to be bearish on Bitcoin after watching this short clip. It's literally impossible. Listen up. He's hilarious, guys.
Actually, think about it this way. This is a really good analogy or metaphor. I don't know the difference, actually, but that I just came up with. If you know how sometimes like volcanoes will erupt every 1, 200, 300,000 years. So let's say there's historical data that a specific volcano erupts every 500,000 years. And what if we found out that right now it hadn't erupted in 600,000 years, meaning it's overdue? Wouldn't you start thinking, holy cow, this thing's going to bust soon? Well, that's exactly how you should be looking at Bitcoin right now. It's overdue. Okay. Wow. That was one of the most beautiful things I've actually ever heard. Unbelievable. The bust is
he's a funny dude. Good times. Yeah. So yeah, things are looking pretty good. Bitcoin's looking pretty strong right now, guys. Spiders taste like crabs. Ugh. Zebek recovering. Yeah. Zebek, what is Zebek doing right now? Uno momento, por favor. Let me see. Oh yeah, Zebek's recovering nicely. Australia is beautiful. Spider season. Oh, I've seen it in pictures, but not where I live. We have kangaroos, emos, nice green tree frogs, geckos. Oh, and snakes. Yeah. See, I don't do snakes. I don't do spiders. I mean, sharks. You guys have sharks, man. Why did all the things that are dangerous decide to move to Australia? That's crazy. So yeah. Anywho, guys, listen. I got to rest my throat. I got some content to make. We will be live over on the Patreon later tonight, guys. Make sure you're there for that. Yeah, get your one-on-one coaching calls get booked in. If you need help with an exit strategy, guys, come on over. Get the help that you need. Learn how to take profits. Learn something new about crypto every single day that will make you a better trader and a better investor. Kat, I see you there. Thank you so much, Kat, for being here. I appreciate you. So yes, get over to the Patreon. The link is in the chat. It's in the pinned comments. It's in the description. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. I'll see you guys later tonight, 8 p.m. Central. God bless.